This is the EWN Podcast Network.
Welcome to Late Boomers, our podcast guide to creating your third act with style, power, and impact. Hi, I'm Cathy Worthington.
And I'm Merry Elkins. Join us as we bring you conversations with successful entrepreneurs, entertainers, and people with vision who are making a difference in the world.
Everyone has a story, and we'll take you along for the ride on each interview, recounting the journey our guests have taken to get where they are, inspiring you to create your own path to success. Let's get started.
This is Cathy Worthington, and welcome back to Late Boomers, the podcast where we explore all the possibilities of this stage of life, how to keep dreaming big and making things happen, no matter our ages.
Yes, and I'm Merry Elkins. Every week, we talk with people who inspire us to keep learning, creating, and thriving. And today, Cathy and I are so excited. We have someone who embodies that spirit in every way.
Absolutely. Our guest is the incomparable Suzy Prudden. Suzy is not only an award-winning speaker and author, she's also the founder of the Itty Bitty Publishing Company, which has helped hundreds of authors bring their big ideas to readers in delightfully itty bitty books.
I love that name. It's great. Itty Bitty. And what I love even more is Suzy herself. She is in her 80s, still traveling, speaking on stages across the country, and inspiring audiences with her wisdom and energy.
And we were lucky enough to meet Suzy in person at the E-Women Network Icon Conference in Dallas, where she absolutely wowed the crowd with her talk.
And we both walked away so inspired. Suzy, your presence on that stage was unforgettable. And we knew right then, we looked at each other and we said, she has to be on our show.
Yeah, she really is a powerhouse. She's been on Oprah. She's a New York Times bestselling author, and she continues to reinvent herself. Suzy proves that the creative life doesn't slow down with age. It can actually get richer.
And she's not just a writer, even though being a writer is a big thing. She's a true mentor in the publishing world. Through Itty Bitty, she's given so many people the chance to share their stories in a way that's approachable and fun.
Exactly. And we know our listeners, many of whom are also late boomers, are going to love hearing how Suzy built this thriving company and how she keeps that spark alive on the speaker circuit.
Boy, does she ever. And she shared stages with some incredible names, but we will get to that. But first, we want to say how grateful we are that she's here. Suzy reminds us all that passion and purpose don't come with an expiration date.
Couldn't agree more. So pour yourself a cup of coffee or maybe a nice glass of wine and settle in. We think you'll finish this conversation feeling inspired to take your next big leap, no matter your age.
So let's all welcome Suzy Prudden.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's great to have you.
Thank you.
And Suzy, we're thrilled to have you here. Yes, of course. For listeners who may be new to your work, can you start by sharing a little bit about your background and the journey that led you to become an author, speaker, and publisher?
How much time do we have?
I know.
I started out in 1965 when I was 22 years old in New York City. I created a business. My mother was the nation's foremost fitness authority, Bonnie Prudden. She started the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports in the 50s. And I knew how to teach exercise. And I was supporting my family. I was married with a new baby, and I was supporting the family. My husband went back to school at that time. I was 22 years old. And I didn't want to work for somebody else, so I started teaching exercise. And then I started teaching toddler exercise, and it didn't exist in the 60s. And
That's true.
And that people thought that I was crazy. You know, I've started many new types of business, and always people thought I was crazy because it wasn't done yet. And yet every time I did, it grew into something that now is normal. It wasn't normal in the beginning. And I did that year, career after career after career. when I became a fitness expert, I became a very well-known fitness expert. And one of that shows me on Oprah with one of my books, that was the book that was published by Hay House on the body mind. That's where I moved from fitness into body mind. And so I've always been an innovator. I've always stepped into something new. If it's a good idea, I go, let's see if this works. And a lot of it worked. Some of it didn't work. It's been a bumpy road. Life is a bumpy road.
Yeah.
And when we're high, we're great. We think everything's fabulous. I want this for the rest of my life. And then we have a low and go, oh, I don't like this. But that's when we learn.
Yeah.
I know.
Because we've all been there.
Yeah.
But you know what I love about what you just said is you had an idea and you went for it. A lot of people have great ideas, but they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I talk about that. And I, it's like when I moved to California, I'm originally from New York City. And that's where I had my fitness schools. And I had a summer camp. I was very blessed because I was successful, but that takes work. And it's interesting, staying successful takes more work than becoming successful. It's a whole different energy. But I moved to California and I became very good friends with Louise Hay.
Oh.
And because I was doing body mind stuff, she was doing body mind stuff. We were speaking on the same circuit. We became very close friends and we lived very close to each other in the Palisades. And she would come over to my house every couple of times a week, and we'd exercise together. Because whereas I wasn't really teaching exercise anymore, I was doing exercise, and we would exercise together. And it's so funny. One day, when I think about it now, she goes, "Ow!" and she hurt herself. Her hip hurt. I said, "What's going on?" She said, "My hip hurts." And I said, "Well, you're the expert. What does it mean?" And she thought about it, and she said, "Oh, it means such and such." I don't remember what it meant. Here's what you just mentioned a moment ago. I had an idea. And you're right. Most people don't speak their idea when they have an idea, especially if they're talking with someone who's an icon. And Louise was an icon. And I said, "Louise, why don't we do," because she had Hay House. I said, "Why don't we do a video together? I'll do the exercises and you do the affirmations." And she thought about it and she said, "Let me take it to the board. I'll let you know." And she came back the next Thursday and she said, "Yes, we like your idea. Let's do it." So we did it. And that's the book that came out of it. It's called Meta Fitness, Your Thoughts Taking Shape. It was published in 1989 through Hay House. We did a video, a book, and 2 audios. And that's the book that got me on the Oprah show. But it was, as you said, it was an idea. And I thought, let's do it. Same thing with Itty Bitty. It was just an idea. And now it's a multi-million-dollar company.
It's amazing. And you had someone to do it with, which you'd push each other, like Cathy and I do on the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. So what happened, how we created it, my sister and I created this company in 19, I keep going back to 19, in 2014. And what happened, we had written a book called, well, let me go back. We went to a workshop in Las Vegas with James Malinchak, and he's talking about write small books. Now, my sister and I have only written big books together. So this was a small book. And I thought, okay, a small book, an itty bitty book. And we're driving back from Las Vegas. And at that time, I had a weight loss center in Los Angeles. I had 5 offices. We did hypnosis, helping people lose weight. So I was ensconced in the business of weight loss. And I said, okay, I'll write Suzy Prudden's Itty Bitty Weight Loss book. And she said, great. And I'll write. And I can't remember the book that she was going to write. And we're driving back. We got back. She wrote the book because I was busy running the business. And it was Suzy Prudden's Itty Bitty Weight Loss book. We didn't know what we were doing. We had no clue how, because I've always been published by big houses. Now we're on our own. We had no idea. We bought, at that time, you had to buy 2,000 books to get a good deal.
Wow.
I have 1,800 left in my garage.
Oh, my goodness.
But here's, so that didn't work.
Wow.
Yeah.
But in 2014, I said, why don't you, to my sister, make the book smaller, change the cover so it speaks to weight loss, and let's put it out again. So we were talking together. We were visiting at Christmas. She showed me the book. I'm looking at the book. This isn't the book. This is just something I have here. I'm looking at the book. She took my name off the book.
What?
Yes. And I'm looking at it, and it says, "Your Amazing Itty Bitty Weight Loss Book." I said to her, "You want to take my name off?" Now, my name's been on everything since 1965. Books, television, everything, summer camps, studios. I'm looking at it. And she said, "I don't care." And as I'm looking at it, I was thinking, this is a multi-million-dollar business.
Mm.
And we don't have to write the books.
Mm-hmm.
We were in business literally 3 days later. We had our first signed author 2 weeks later, and our first published book 6 weeks later. From 2006 to 2014, my sister learned how to do the back end of publishing. So I am the outside. I'm the voice, the visual. I'm the person who markets Itty Bitty, and my sister. She's now actually she died recently, but she was the person behind the scenes. And that's
what a great team.
Oh, it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect. She retired about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. She's been very, very sick and died recently, which is actually a blessing. It's very sad, but it's a blessing because she was ready to go. But she and I created Itty Bitty.
How lucky you are to have that.
I am blessed. Absolutely
really
blessed.
Well, Suzy, I'd love to know a little bit more about your whole career as in the stage too, because what drew you to the stage? Was there a moment when you knew speaking to live audiences was going to be a central part of your life?
I love speaking. Period. I love speaking. When you saw me at eWomen,
and you were fabulous.
I had so much fun. I mean, what was interesting, what was fabulous was the response from the audience. Because we were playing off each other.
Right.
And I had never said before, it's wonderful being 81 years old because you can tell people what to do. And then, and this was organic. This was not in my script. And then I said, and you were there, I said, telling what people, and sometimes where to go. I mean, that literally it was magic.
You got to go with your impulse when you're speaking. Yeah. You have that.
So it started. When you ask me, I studied theater. I was a theater major in college. I went to Carnegie Mellon, which
you did.
Yeah. And
I was a theater major too.
Hello.
I was for a while.
UCLA.
Then I went into journalism at USC.
Yeah, we got
I was at Carnegie Mellon, and that's when my mother told me I couldn't date the boy I was dating, so I married him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and he and
it was the forbidden.
Yeah, and you know what's so interesting? She knew better. She really did. Don't tell Suzy no about it, and that's important because when people run up against a no. No isn't no. No is not now. No is later. No is what do I have to do to make it yes?
Yeah. That is true.
I agree. Well, when we met you at the conference for eWomen Network, the audience was so captivated. And what really stands out in your memory about the event, and how did it feel to connect with so many women entrepreneurs and leaders?
That was a magical I've been to conference many times. That was a truly magical conference for me. That's when I got a Matchmaker of the Year, which I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea. I mean,
why don't you explain it to all of us?
So, exactly.
So I send people to eWomen all the time. I believe in the company. I believe in what they do. I believe in what they say. I believe in the difference that they're making in the world with everything that they do for the entrepreneur, for the businesswoman, and for all the people who are out there doing. I mean, when they gave that award to the people from the architects from Altadena who are helping the people of Altadena create homes again. They're making it possible for them because of all the red tape and everything.
And she's talking about the aftermath of the fires in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just, I mean, I love the organization. I love what they do. So I send people all the time, but if I'm talking to a new author, especially, I ask everybody, where do you market? Where do you go to get new business? Because I'm all about creating business. And some of them tell me what they're doing. Some of them, I don't know. So check out eWomen. It's international, and they have chapters all over the United States. And so I send people because I have authors all over the world. And so I tell them, well, find a chapter that is near you if they're in the US. And then if they don't have a chapter near them, I say, well, join my chapter because you can be on the internet. You don't have to show up. And I don't know how many people I've sent, but I've sent a lot of people. And I sent them without knowing that I'm not getting anything from this.
Yeah.
But they are, which is not even, but the client I sent somebody recently, he wasn't even a client. They were talking about doing a book. She's not ready to do the book and she's building her business. I said, well, where are you marketing? And she said, I'm not. And I sent her to eWomen. And so I thought when I filled out the form, all the people that I've sent, that it was numbers. And I learned later, it's not numbers. Yes, numbers, you have to have a certain number of people to enter into becoming matchmaker of the year. But the chapter director has to get minimum 5 testimonials of why the members of that chapter want you to have that award. And when Vicky
so it's really behind the scenes. You don't know about it.
When Vicky told me that, I said, really? I had no idea. Now, I'm known in my chapter for being a time Nazi. Not not a time Nazi, but a speaker Nazi. In other words, if someone is speaking and somebody at a table is also speaking, I'll say, stop talking. You're interrupted. If they're talking when I'm talking, it's like, don't talk when I'm talking. I call them out on it. So some people, and I'm very polarizing. You either really like me or you really don't. So the fact that they got 5 testimonials or more, I don't know.
And people in the entire room, there had to be 1,000 people giving you a standing ovation.
Yeah.
So you had a lot more testimonials.
It was so honoring. I mean, it was really, it's like, whoa, I had no idea.
So, Suzy, how has the world of professional speaking changed over the years? And how is it still, well, obviously it's still exciting for you today.
I love speaking. I mean, give me an audience. I'll pay to speak.
Don't say that out loud too much.
Don't say it out loud too much?
No, well, don't you get paid to speak?
This is the secret. Yes, I do. I make more money when I pay to speak.
Oh, I see.
So here's the thing. When you are a paid speaker, you get $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. And that's it. It's like, thank you very much. I had a wonderful time. Thank you for this opportunity. That's it. When you pay to speak or speak at no cost, you get an opportunity to offer something. So when I speak, and I've spoken on conference stages for 2 minutes and made $35,000.
Yeah, because of what happens after.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So when I spoke at eWomen, I paid to speak at eWomen. I paid a lot of money to speak at eWomen, and it was worth every penny. Um, and I recommend, okay, if you really want to make a difference and there's a stage and you know that if you get on that stage, two things are going to happen. You're going to make a difference to the audience and they're going to make a difference to you. You stick your hands down, do it. So I and I was not allowed to say, if you can get this from me for this much money, et cetera. I say, if you're interested in talking to me, please see me. Here's a form to fill out, whatever. So I had 94 people fill out the form.
Wow.
Now, for the rest of the conference, I had a booth upstairs at the expo. From 9:30 in the morning till 7, I spoke to a different person every half hour.
Oh,
They all wanted to do books.
that takes energy. Well, did they all have ideas for books?
Some did and some didn't. And when somebody had an idea, and what happens to me, it's very dangerous, because when they say what they want to do, I'm a visionary. I can see beyond of what they want to do. And I say, have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? I have to be very careful because I can overwhelm people with ideas. And I'm a yes person.
Not a bad thing.
No. It's not a bad thing. It's a little overwhelming. Some people didn't have an idea what they wanted to do. Some people didn't have a business yet. They were new. At eWomen, you have all stages of business, which is what's so beautiful about it, because the beginner has a platform and the person making millions of dollars already has a platform.
And we should put in that men go to it too, and men are men.
And a few good men.
Oh, a few good men.
I just signed an eWoman man to do a fabulous.
Oh,
so excited.
Great. Good. And we know, I'm sorry.
I lost it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask you something else. You've shared the spotlight with some pretty remarkable people. And can you tell us about a time when you looked around and thought, wow, I can't believe I'm sharing a stage with this person?
Oh, yes.
Tell us a few of those.
Okay, so this was, oh God, the people I've shared the stage with. The first person was Tony Robbins.
Oh, wow.
And that was in 1984.
Oh.
Long time. He was just starting. It was in New York, and it was one of his first major conferences. And the audience was restless, and he wasn't there yet. And you saw what I did in the beginning of my talk when I got the whole room room moving. So I went to his program director and I said, would you like me to get this audience together so they're not at sixes and sevens, because he hadn't arrived yet. And they didn't know, they had no idea what I was going to do. And, but they happened to have the music that I use, which I used. I've been using that music consistently when I do that particular piece of my talk.
Which music is that for our audience?
Oh, thank you. It's Jump for My Love by the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, I love, yeah.
1981. So
I remember when it came out.
Yeah. So now it's 1984, November, and I remember November 1984. And I said, do you have the music Jump? They said, yes. I said, so let me do my thing. And I did. And so that was the first shared stage, so to speak. Then I was blessed in the early 2000s to have a client who had a company called Sci Seminars, which was in Northern California. It was a seminar, obviously, company. And after people had gone through 3 very intense seminars, when they graduated, they were allowed to come to a program that they had created called Principia. And Principia was a 7-day program where they had speakers, phenomenal speakers, come and speak for a day. And I was hired, which is such a funny story. When Jane first asked me to do it, I thought, me? Speak at Principia? I was so impressed with myself. And because I thought I was going to have a day. And I kept writing to Jane saying, well, what do you want me to do? Because I had all these different things that I could do. Weight loss, relationships, positive thinking. I mean, that's what I did. At that time in my life, I was doing workshops. And nothing. Thursday, we're starting Saturday. She calls me up and says, this is what I want you to do. Now, I was a hypnotherapist at the time. And she said, I want you to listen all day to the speaker and then do a 10-minute wrap up in the evening of what they said.
Wow.
Well, this is what happened. My ego went, 10 minutes? You only want me to do 10 minutes? I mean, my ego was like, and then, okay, Suzy, shut up. Breathe. You got 10 minutes every night for 6 nights.
Yeah.
All right.
You really have to pay attention.
I had no idea how I was going to do this. I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
So I sit there all day. I mean, I had notebooks like this of what they said. And I write, and then I try and bring it together. And finally, I figured I can't bring it together. I'll just wing it. And so that's what I did. Every night, they would bring me on stage after dinner. And I would do, well, in the beginning, it was 25 minutes because I couldn't bring it down to 10. I finally got it down to 10 minutes, but it took me actually 10 years. What happened, which was so brilliant, I mean, Michael Beckwith, John DeMartini, Jay Abraham, oh my God, the list is unbelievable. And I got to spend not only the day listening to them, but then we would all have lunch together, and then we would all have dinner together, and we all stayed at the Casa, which was this extraordinary house on the property. So I got to be with, I mean, I was immersed in this, in the backstage speaker world.
Mm.
And
yeah.
what happened was most people who went to this organization to speak maybe once or twice. I was there every year for 10 years.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really a lot.
Unbelievable. And so
Well, you must have loved it.
the comments were, yeah, they did. They would mention my name, and I wouldn't even be on stage. I'd get a standing ovation.
Wow.
Because I was really good at. I'd never done it before. I made it up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another thing. It's like, okay, so you've never done it, so do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Go
you
for
can
it.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've mentored both speakers and obviously writers through Itty Bitty Publishing.
Yes.
So, what qualities do you notice or look for in the people who successfully bring a book to life?
The willingness to go beyond where they've ever been before.
Oh, that sounds like Star Trek.
It does.
I never thought of that, but it's like, okay, so you've got this book. It's fragile. It's a baby.
Yes.
It has no ability by itself to do anything. It's got all the potential in the world. So what are we going to do to make your book happen in the world?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when, I mean, I just did a process with an author last week. We did a press release. And this woman is willing to go beyond. What do I have to do next, Suzy? What do I have to do next, Suzy? What do I have to do next, Suzy? That book is going to be successful. And from that book, so is she.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to do next?
What do I have to do next? It's your life lesson. It's like in life.
Mm-hmm.
People can sit back and say, okay, that's good, and watch television.
And if she didn't have you telling her what to do next, she'd have to come up with the next step.
Right.
At some point.
So when
yeah, it's great to have a mentor.
So what I tell people when I'm marketing me, it's like, I've done it. You want to talk to me? I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to do this. Let me give my life experience to you so that you can take what I've learned and move your career, your book, your life forward.
That's powerful.
And that's where I come from.
Yeah, that's excellent. So you get a lot with when you go to Itty Bitty Publishing. It sounds like.
Well, I was talking to Kim Yancey, who is the co-founder of eWomen. Sandra,
love him. I love him.
Me too. He's funny. He said to me, "What do you do as a publisher?" I said, "Everything that any other publisher does." And then I listed, we do this, we do this, we do the editing, we do the ISBN number, we do everything that a publisher does, we do. And I'm trying to think, what's the difference? What's the difference? I guess, and I said to him, I guess the only difference is when you become an itty bitty author, you get me.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went,
Yeah, Kim must have loved that because he's always looking for like, what's special about this?
Yeah,
right. And how do you stand out? And how do you reinvent yourself? And how do you make your brand clear? And all of that. He's about all of that. And obviously, you know exactly how to do that. And
go ahead.
Your career basically spans decades.
Yeah.
And several reinventions. And was there a time when you faced a major challenge or pivot? And how did you find the courage to move forward with that?
Well, in 1989, I did the Oprah show. And I didn't have a team. I was all by myself. I didn't know how to handle it. And I made some massive mistakes. And in February of 1990, I was sitting in my beautiful little guest house in Topanga Canyon in California, and I got the mail, and my rent check had bounced.
Oh.
Oops. And then I contacted the bank, and I had no money in my bank account. I thought, well, this is a problem. And that same day, I was sitting in my kitchen, and I had a bunch of phone calls that came literally one after another. And every single call that I received that day was a company that I had scheduled and booked a program with. They canceled. Every single job that I had lined up for the year called and canceled.
That is a bad day.
That was a very bad day. And I knew it was not accidental. You can't have that happen without that being, okay, Suzy, we've got to regroup. And I looked up at the ceiling and I said, God, you must really love me to give me this experience because it's going to change my life.
That's a great way to look at it.
It certainly is.
Well,
that was all that training with Louise Hay and Tony Robbins.
All that years of training. But what was stunning to me in the moment was I meant it. And then I so funny, I had to get a job. Now, I had not worked for anybody since 1965.
That's a long break.
That's a lot of years between.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, so I'm talking to myself, you got to get a job. And my ego comes up. You can't get a job. I said, excuse me? Obviously, this is all going on in my head. I have to get a job. No, you can't get a job. But I need a job. You can't get a job. I said, why can't I get a job? You're Suzy Prudden. You don't work for anybody else. I said, I need a job. We won't eat. And this conversation got louder and louder and louder and louder until the ego was a Pillsbury Doughboy in the beginning, and it became the Jolly Green Giant. And and I said, it says to me, what will your mother think? I said, get down here. It doesn't matter what my mother will think. And it was like somebody hit the Jolly Green Giant with a pin and went, and it became the Pillsbury Doughboy again. And I'm looking at my ego in my mind, and I'm going, you think I don't love you, don't you? It goes,
oh.
I said, I love you. I need you, but you can't run the show right now. I have to run the show. And so, and it was so sweet in my mind, this little tiny Pillsbury Doughboy ego thing. And then I went and got a job. And I worked for a friend of mine because we were in the same shamanic group at the time. And our teacher said, Helene, you need help in your office. Suzy, you need a job. So I called Helene and I said, I need the job. She said, Suzy, I can't hire you. I said, why not? She said, you're Suzy Prudden. I said, so what? She said, well, I'm only going to pay you $10 an hour. And I said to her, that's $10 more than I'm making now.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I used to make $5,000 a day. So this is the 90s. She said, I'm going to ask you to get my cleaning. I said, I'll get it. I'm going to ask you to clean up my office. I'll clean it. So we negotiated and I started, and I was going to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from like 10 until 4 for $10 an hour. And I negotiated with my landlady that I would pay her weekly because I couldn't pay the whole rent in one shot until the lease was up, which was in May. And she didn't want to lose the money. And I didn't want to lose my home. And my first day you talk about oh my God, I just got to stop. My first day there, the secretary who was leaving said, do you know how to organize? So my operative word is yes. She said, can you organize this office? I said, yes. So I became an office organizer instead of an office helper by noon. I said, organizers get $75 an hour. Why don't I charge Helene $25? So I was hired at $10 an hour, and then 2 hours later, I was $25 an hour. So I got a $15 an hour raise, and I worked for Helene January, February, March, April until May. And basically, she saved my life.
That's a great story.
And you saved her office.
And I saved her office, and we're still friends.
Oh, that's the best part.
And we're both old ladies now, and we're both still working.
That's great.
I love it.
I do too. Suzy, you mentioned about traveling earlier, and traveling and speaking take tons of energy. People half your age are exhausted with it. So do you have any favorite rituals or must-have items that you take with you or that you do in order when you're on the road to help you stay together, to help you stay healthy?
That's a very good question. No. I just do me. Well,
what about your exercising? Because you're in amazing shape.
Well, there's other people that could argue with that, like myself. But anyway, I'm in better shape than a lot of people my age. And I think I'm blessed. First of all, I love travel. Secondly, I love speaking. Thirdly, I love working with people. So I'm doing something that I adore, absolutely adore. After Icon, so Icon was over. This is an example of what I do. Icon was over Saturday night late. I left at 6 or 7 because I was toast. I didn't go for the dance party. I was toast. And I stayed with a friend for a couple of days in Dallas. So we stopped for dinner, I think, for a light dinner on the way back to her house. And the next day I didn't get out of my bathrobe.
That's a nice treat
too.
Yeah.
And then I think we did get out at 3:00, and I think we went for a manicure pedicure.
So you could just build in these little breaks.
Yes, I have to build that in. So then that was Sunday. Monday, I stayed an extra day. We were going to go get a massage, a salt bath and a massage. And at 3:00 or 2:00 in the afternoon, I looked at, and we're still in our bathrobes. We're watching stuff on movies on television. Both of us. She helped me at my booth. We're like kind of, and I turned to her. We're each on a different couch. We've had snacks and stuff. We're just taking the day. And I knew we had prepped, this is so funny, planned to go get a massage. And I turned to her and I said, I don't think I want to get dressed to get undressed to get dressed again.
I understand.
Sometimes it's one thing too many.
It was just, I mean, just the thought of putting on my clothes,
Yeah, and you would have to drive over there.
driving up, putting it back on again.
Yeah.
I couldn't. So we didn't do that. We did go out for dinner, which was great. I'm glad we did, but it was really just, we just got dressed to go to dinner and then came back and went back to watching movies. I mean, you, when you put as much energy out as I do, you have to create a time when you don't do anything.
Right. I get it. Well, for
Yeah.
our listeners who dream of becoming speakers themselves, what's one piece of advice you'd give about connecting with an audience, especially later in life?
Love them.
Oh, good.
Love them. They're here to
Mm.
hear you, and be interesting.
Ah,
Be
Well,
interesting.
that's hard.
And really understand your audience. I know the audience at eWomen because I'm an eWomen member. And we're
Mhm.
all entrepreneurs. We're all business owners. We're all searching and learning and growing. And we all want new, and we all need to be seen.
Mhm.
And we need to set it up so that we are seen. My topic was, it's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Mhm.
And really, I've been blessed because people, I mean, I am my mother's daughter. I did take her name. It's not my birth name. I did ask her permission if I could become Suzy Prudden. So I
Oh.
did that on purpose.
mm.
Mhm.
And be strategic.
Like a little rebirth.
Yeah,
Mm.
be strategic. Think about what your audience needs. What do they need? It's not about what you need. It's
Mhm.
about what they need.
Yeah.
And my audience needs to be seen. Just like I need to be seen, but if I can teach people how to be known, so that when you think their name, when you think their career, you think their name. I mean, when people think about publishing small books, they don't just think itty bitty, they think itty bitty Suzy Prudden, or they think Suzy Prudden itty bitty. And when I was an icon in fitness, people would think fitness, they would think Suzy Prudden. They think Suzy Prudden. It's like the story I told where I was at a conference in Orlando in 2023, walking out of a restaurant with my name badge on because I was at a conference, and a table of 4 women. One of the women said, "Oh my God, Suzy Prudden." What? I have your books. Now, I hadn't written a book on fitness since 1992,
Mm.
Oh,
2023.
wow.
I know.
Yeah.
So you really, that's what I want to teach people. And so as a speaker, you have to think, what does my audience need? It's not about me, it's about them.
Mhm.
And then
Well, is it the same with publishing for people who are thinking about publishing? Talk a little bit about that and why the itty bitty book format is so powerful compared to the books you used to write, longer books.
okay, so I'm going to show you an itty bitty book.
Okay. And will you describe it for our listeners?
Oh, of course.
We're
Oh,
on YouTube
there-
as well, but
okay, yeah, I will. So an itty bitty book is only 30 pages.
ah,
It's written
Oh.
in numbered sentences and paragraphs and bullet points. It's like the Cliff Notes of dummies.
yeah.
Dummies books are 350 pages you have to read with a yellow highlighter. Itty bitty
Mhm.
books are the yellow highlights. So you have page 1 of every itty bitty book is written with a little paragraph and then a numbered sentence or a numbered paragraph. And you have that's page 1. Page 2 is written with a little paragraph
Mm.
and then bullet points. So it's very, very, very little. It's 150 words a page.
Oh,
Literally, it's like the Cliff Notes of dummies.
yeah.
The interesting thing that we have come to create as we've learned more to create itty bitty books is that the author is not allowed to be in the book. So there's no
Oh.
story. There's no, I thought of this when I was 12. There's no, if you do, my recommendation is, It's all, if you want to learn this, you need to do such and such. You and your are the operatives words in Itty Bitty. There's no I, there's no we, there's no us, there's no they.
Mm.
There is only you and you. The author is speaking directly to the reader. So when the reader reads the book, it goes directly into the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So when it says on the cover, for example, your amazing Itty Bitty Whole Healthy Habits book, the reader subconsciously thinks, my healthy habits? So there's the reader connects with the author immediately.
Mm.
Right. Just right on the front, right in the title.
And then throughout the book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I teach people how to take each chapter and turn it into a seminar, a webinar, a program. It's a retreat. It's a weekend getaway, and it's a certification program.
Oh, that's great.
So people can become the Pilates of their industry.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yeah.
And, Suzy, you radiate so much energy and enthusiasm. What are some of your personal habits or daily practices that help you stay vibrant and ready to inspire others?
I like to journal. I have a practice. I'm working with a spiritual teacher. You met her at the conference, Felicia Searcy. She is my teacher, and I have a practice. Is every morning I write gratitudes. I am happy and grateful for.
Mm.
And in the beginning, when I did gratitudes years ago, I used to think that if I don't put somebody in, they're not going to get something they need to be in. So my gratitudes would be 10 pages. I was like, you got to stop this, Suzy. I'm grateful that if I don't put you, I'm right. But now I don't do that. I do 2 or 3. And I think
2 or 3 per day.
2 or 3 per
morning.
Yeah, they're different or the same. But I'm happy and I'll write, I'm happy and grateful to be happy and grateful. I'm happy and grateful that I'm doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy and grateful that I had the opportunity to speak at eWomen. I'm happy and grateful that I have the most scrumptious kitty that I live with. I'm happy and grateful that I treat my body right. I guess one of the things you ask, and I just thought of it because it just comes naturally to you, I eat really well.
I just was about to ask that.
Yeah, I eat really, really well.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for example, this morning I had cottage cheese and fruit. I like cottage cheese. I like fruit. Put them together. I liked breakfast. I had planned to have, you're going to love this. I have some caviar in my refrigerator, and I'm thinking,
oh, baby.
I want to do something with this. And champagne is too early in the morning. So I thought, I'll make eggs and caviar.
Oh, yum.
Yum.
Good.
So I had this hard-boiled egg in the refrigerator. And it's been there a while. And so I cracked it open and I went, no, we're not doing this one. Threw it out.
Oh.
So then I boiled some eggs, so I'll have the caviar tomorrow because they weren't ready. That's why I had the cottage cheese.
Oh, okay, good. A lot of protein.
Yeah, and I like protein.
Yeah, I do that too.
And tonight I'm going to have an artichoke. And I cooked some chicken last night. I have leftover chicken, so I'm going to have an artichoke and some what's it called? Air fried chicken tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't eat a lot because I don't want a lot. I know sometimes I do. And I have to watch my weight regardless.
And you're tiny.
I am tiny. I'm an itty bitty lady.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
So I'm really careful. I love salads. I love protein. I'm very lucky that I really like vegetables and protein. That's what I like. And I honor myself by giving myself that. I like wine, so I will drink wine. And what else? I'm not a snacker. I just
dessert.
Rarely. It's not. I used to. When I go through, this is funny. When I go through periods of not drinking any wine, I like chocolate. But when I'm going through periods of having a glass or two of wine at dinner, then that's my sugar.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
It is sugar.
I'm cognizant. I don't eat fast food. Occasionally, I really like In-N-Out protein burger without the bun.
Oh,
So I'll do that every couple of months.
you know, I eat exactly the way you eat, except for the burger, because Cathy and I, neither one of us eats anything,
Beef. Yeah.
beef or lamb or any of those. But I have to ask you, looking ahead, what projects and ideas are you most excited about now? And are there any new stages or adventures on the horizon?
Yeah, definitely. I just started a new project as of today. Or yes,
Oh, goody.
it's putting people in front of thousands of radio hosts, TV hosts. I'm all about, you've got to be seen. You've got to be seen. You've got to be heard. You've got to get out there. If you don't get out there, people can't learn from you. I believe that most people have a gift and a message. That's why we came. And for those of us who step into that, you've got to create a stage for yourself. It's not going to happen. Well, it could, but it's not really likely just because. And yes, I believe that we create a reality with the way we think. Bottom line, if you want to know what you think, just look at your life.
Right.
So what I'm doing with a friend of mine is we've created a whole program of getting people out there in front of, I'm going to be interviewing them. It's called Suzy Prudden TV. And I'm going to be interviewing them and then putting them in front of the people that will hire them to speak, to be on stages, to be on shows, to be out there so that their audience can, if they want to, contact them to work with. It's like me being here with you. There will be people who are listening, watching this, who will say, I want to work with her. How do I do it? So I am creating a specific type of TV show that's an interview show that will be sent to 1,000 radio hosts, 1,000 TV hosts, so that my client will be in front of the people they need to be in front of. I'm really excited about it.
So, and do you use like YouTube as a platform to get it recorded?
One of my platforms. That's one of my platforms. I'm not I don't know how to do that. I'm just the talent.
You have to learn.
Well,
figure it out.
actually,
AI will teach you.
Well, I was talking to my producer today and I said, well, what do you want me to do? And she goes, nothing. Don't do anything. Don't hit any button. Don't.
Just be you.
Just show up. I said, okay, I can do that. And talk about it. I can do that. She said, good. That's all you're going to do. She was sweet. She's been trying to get me to do this for years, and I keep finding ways not. But I really see how, because of where I am right now, when we evolve.
And you're ready for this next
always
step. Ready.
So I've got that, and that's my new project. The other project is I'm going to be. My intention is to really start speaking all over the world.
Europe calls.
Europe calls. So there's a program that I just signed up for, a cruise. In October. It's called a Speakers Cruise, and it's going to go through the Mediterranean.
Perfect.
And I don't know what we're doing, but I thought I'd like to go to the Mediterranean. I haven't been there yet. Not like this.
It's great in October. I did it last October on a cruise. Not for speaking, but for pleasure. It was wonderful.
And
beautiful.
Yeah, October must be gorgeous. I mean, I've lived in
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah. So I'm really looking now at, okay, so how do I take myself and find the stages and just, say, look, people think it's not difficult. You just have to take the time to do it. And say, okay, so this group is this is happening, and look for the speaker forms and fill them out.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And
What cruise line are you going on?
Oh, it's not the best.
Oh,
well,
we won't give it a plug then.
No.
but
it doesn't matter. I'm not going to that.
No, you'll get what you need from it. Exactly right, because you're going in with your goals, and it'll happen.
Yeah.
And Suzy, what would you like our audience to have as a takeaway from this conversation today?
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. There will become a stop day. And at 82, I have a choice. I can stop. I watched my sister stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to do that. I watched her systematically shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And it was horrible to watch because my sister was probably the smartest, funniest person I've ever known.
Mm-hmm.
Opinionated. And I mean, she was amazing person. And I watched her stop. And I watched her allow herself to not turn off, to dim her light.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm 82. I have a choice. My compatriots, so to speak, my age group, it wouldn't be unusual for me to dim my light.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people my age dim their lights. And it's okay, but it's not okay with me. Most of my friends are in their 60s. And I have a few friends that are my age, and some of them have stopped. And I go, and I'll talk to them. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day that was a powerhouse in her business. And now she stopped. And I said, how are you? She said, bored.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing? Nothing. What do you want to do? Nothing. Then she said, I miss you. And I couldn't say I miss you too. Because I don't. She stopped. There's nothing. I mean, she does. I'm surprised she even knows who's president. That's big stopping.
Yeah.
And so for people my age, or, from 60 up, you're given permission to stop. Well, give yourself permission to keep going. And
You are the epitome of someone that has kept going and will keep on going forever. And I love that advice. It's so inspiring for me personally, and I know it will be for our entire Boomer audience. Thank you, Suzy, so much. It's been such a joy to share this time with you. And to our late Boomers audience, if you'd like to learn more about Suzy, her speaking, and the Itty Bitty Publishing Company, you can visit her website at Itty Bitty, that's spelled like ITTYBITTY, publishing.com. And you can find details about her books there, upcoming events, how you can work with her to bring your own itty bitty idea to life and make it bigger. And we'll also include the link in our show notes, so it's easy to find for you.
And Suzy, thank you again for sharing your wisdom and your incredible energy with us today. It's been inspiring. And you're very welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
And to our listeners, don't forget to subscribe to the Late Boomers podcast on YouTube so you never miss an episode. Thanks again, Suzy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Late Boomers, the podcast that is your guide to creating a third act with style, power, and impact. Please visit our website and get in touch with us at lateboomers.us. If you would like to listen to or download other episodes of Late Boomers, go to ewnpodcastnetwork.com.
This podcast is also available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and most other major podcast sites. We hope you make use of the wisdom you've gained here and that you enjoy a successful third act with your own style, power, and impact.